Oh, I don't know if I've yet or not. Here they're saying where to be notified. Here we go. And there we are. Okay, let's pop over here. And go over here. It's need to be to mute. Good morning. Sunday, the 8th of December. It's Bodhi Day. This is the day that the Buddha thought 2,500 years ago that we're acknowledging that received enlightenment. And it's also National Brownie Day. I don't have much work to do. I don't have any work to do it all day. I do have 7 games left in the GeoGuessr tournament that I have to play today. That's about it. Good thing, because I'm feeling the after effects of the flu shot that I received 2 days ago. Headachy, body ache, that sort of thing. Just feeling rather off and tired. So I'll probably continue another day of watching vintage Christmas television. I will have to put something on the background, which you can't see anyways. Something on the background I was going to get copyrighted over. And it's the Sears Wish book. We're not going to bother with. Yeah, feeling a little bit off today. But, what am I on? Here we go. Okay. I don't know why it's not telling me that I'm in here, because I am in here. Well, good morning, Isla. I hope you had a successful day yesterday at the Christmas fair. I was just saying that I'm feeling a little bit off from this flu shot, but headachy and body ache, runny nose, whatever, runny nose. Feel like it is. So I'm just going to plan another day of watching vintage television. I've managed to make it into the 1980s of my holiday wish list or holiday playlist. Also, I'm pretty tired. Your friend did good? Awesome. That's good to hear. It seems like it's going to be a nice day here on Vancouver Island today, too. After what was expected was a weekend of rain, which will be good for all those people, all those Swifties over in Vancouver wanting to take those photo ops with all those lovely lighted signs. Get the beauty of the city. I suppose a lot of people will be coming in from other places. I've heard there's even fans that follow the concert from city to city. How they can afford that, I don't know. Probably sitting in the audience making videos so people like I can sit in the cheap seats at home. It's good to hear your friend did good. It must be kind of tiring, though. It must be a long day out yesterday. I have no plan today except for a cup of coffee. I might even go back to sleep at some point. I have the option. It's Sunday. And here I am, once again coming to you from this side of my bed. And doesn't get any realer than this. Literally, this is how I roll out of bed. Since I haven't even done that yet. Early night last night. pretty well wore myself out, I guess, watching vintage television. I really enjoy it, though. Even the game shows, even the Family Feud was fun. Today, so I'll see how far I can get into the 80s. I got a few movies. Yeah. Oh, good to see you today, too. I probably won't be seeing anybody else unless it's out the window. But yeah, as far as my other illness and everything goes, I'm probably doing better. I just, I had to go get that flu shot to sort of set me back a little bit. And I'm sure that's after I was on yesterday morning, I immediately got the old flashing lights. And okay, here comes a migraine. Now I do have preemptive medicine. One thing also with my autism, I can't pronounce certain words. So I just can't. And doing something beforehand. Like I did have a medicine I could put under my tongue, and if you're going to have a migraine, I mean, you see the lights. I guess it's vascular, something to do with letting the blood flow out easier or softer or something. So I managed to probably ward off what would be the worst of a headache. But yeah, I'm sure that my feelings today are post flu shot. I've got all those little antibodies in there fighting now, and rather than actual illness or anything like that. Woke up a couple of hours ago and thought, at least I'm not waking up 5 minutes before this time. So it's like I'm either up to 5 minutes before or 2 hours before. That's nice. Yeah, I did watch Frosty the other day. Let's see what I've actually got a section of a few good movies, but some even a whole show on commercials. I find the commercials from the 80s quite amusing, considering what I used to pay for. For what I used when I bought in the late 90s, when I bought my computer and monitor, I'm sure what I paid for the monitor, I could probably buy 3 laptops now. It's crazy. But yeah, the commercials are even fun. But yeah, it's kind of a surprise. But I've got a lot. How many films have I got? I've got over 100. Yeah, 100 different shows. Yeah, 1980 Sears Wish Book, page by page is what I'm watching right now. Earlier today, I did watch. It was from St. David's I guess it's a church in Wales, and they had the documentary about preparing for their holiday season. It was quite interesting. Yeah. And you're a history fan too, so you can understand And also that my husband is 50% Welsh, so his genealogy. What else have I got today? Oh, WKRP, Second City TV, and Christmas in Hawaii with Jim Neighbors. Jim Neighbors? It is. I'll enjoy that one. So it looks like I got a bit of a comedy, sitcoms, and music, probably a few movies. At least it keeps me in one place, because otherwise I'd be thinking about all the things that I want to get done that I know I shouldn't or I can't, and I got to be patient. I suppose this quarter of the year is teaching me patience, and that's what this is all about. I've got to learn something from this, and I think I'll learn to be patient, and I'll start feeling better. Yeah. Well, hello. Somebody else joined us here. We're having our morning coffee, talking about nostalgic holiday television shows, which I'm creating a playlist of under playlists on my YouTube channel here. I'm to 1980 now, and enjoying the old shows a lot and the nostalgia. getting into the computer age now. So this is probably where everything's going to change with Christmas. This is where everybody took off to their own corners with their devices, no doubt. But yeah, I start my morning coffee here with my friend Isla from Victoria and B Team Paranormal, and anyone else who wants to join us. We're early risers here on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. Even though we're across the water a little bit, it's still big Swifty time here on, as this, I guess it is the end of the era for the Eras tour. I might tune in and watch whoever's live streaming tonight, just because it's the last one. I mean, I'm not a Swiftie by any means. Different generations. But it's pretty amazing, that show she puts on. I'm telling you, I watched it the other night, and I thought maybe I would spend $1,000. Who knows? Anyways, my name is Gail. I have a website, gocybernaut.com, GOCYBERNAUT.com, where I go out and try to find the best of the net and many, many subjects for everybody, but mostly people that are neurodiverse or autistic that really can't handle all those bells and whistles and pop-ups and ad servers and pop-unders and questionnaires and all the other things that come along with what seems to be traditional websites nowadays. I've been creating content since 1995, specifically for the web since 1996, and professionally since 1997. And I continue to do it professionally, although I depend on donations, which there are a few. So I am a poor content creator. I don't. Yes. I watched a bit of that last night. I actually, on my Facebook page, I shared the link to the Christmas truck parade. I especially like the cement mixers, all decorated, and as their little cement mixer thing was going round and round, it was quite the optical illusion. But that's beautiful. I was saying that last night. Gee, Victoria they sure do Christmas. I mean, we're up island just a little, an hour and a half from Victoria, and we don't get very much at all. I mean, our downtown is basically torn up right now because when they're upgrading the roads, they didn't realize that I don't know how they didn't realize, because there's a half a block away, there's a museum that has all the mining maps. Anyway, there's a mine underneath. I guess it was a little bit closer to the surface than they thought. So yeah, so our downtown is torn up. So won't be any parades down that street. Yes, I'll be watching the parades from other cities. But yeah, 2 in a week in Victoria. That's impressive. And it was sure the night for it, I guess. It was clear last night. I did journey out for the evening for about 5 minutes, long enough to look at the stars and the little crescent moon. It was a lovely night. It should be a beautiful day today on Vancouver Island. And once again, I see you going to the Christmas fair with your friend there, Isla. Sundays are usually a little even more, I think, popular. I remember when my mother used to go to the craft fairs. The Sundays were the big day. I guess people do it's a different time. But I'm talking about in the old days, those stores are closed on Sundays. So you didn't go do your shopping, your malls and all that stuff on Sundays because it wasn't possible. Everything pretty well shut down. And look at me, 5 a.m. I'm up. I'm not shut down on a Sunday. Nothing like the first cup of coffee in the morning. Well, it's something to get me going. I was kind of worried there. I was here early, waiting for chat. I thought, if I fall asleep, it'll be like, hey, live stream, come and watch Gail sleep. And I thought, well, geez, maybe some people are into that. Maybe people are into watching other people sleep. But I thought, probably not a good idea. I don't know. I probably snore. Who knows? Something I shouldn't be sharing. Yeah. Yeah. So no other plan. I have 7 games. I'm in a gold division 1 GeoGuessr tournament, and I have 7 games to play today. I think I'm just gonna go with the no move, where you just plop me somewhere and I better figure out exactly where I am, because it seems the ones when you can move around, you end up driving down the road and there's too many options to choose from. So I'll be going by trees, soil, roads, telephone poles, bollards, whatever clues. Oh, let's get myself comfortable now. Oh, I don't want to end up with a sore neck, a sore head. I have the old flu shot headache. I'm not going to make things worse for myself. Well, yeah, I mean, I've been locked down here for the last 2 months with an illness. I'm not making any plans of going out for the holidays. So it is nice to be able to bring it in, to be able to bring in. I got to be watching some from New York, the streets of New York. We watch actually, quite a few walking tours of cities. Of course, I'm already thinking. Well, I started a playlist of walking tours too, but there was another one I was thinking of. Oh, when I'm finished my nostalgic television for the holidays, maybe I'll start a playlist and just celebrations around the world. Who knows? It's just one of my autistic traits is I like to put things, I like to organize things, I like to put things in lists, and I like to put content together. So to beat the boredom and some of my pain issues. I would say you can always tell when the amount of pain I'm in by the amount of content I create, because I create none. And I was like, we're beyond communication pain. But if I'm creating quite a bit, you can be sure that I'm having a lot of the surface pain, like the arthritic type pain and stuff, because that's how I deal with it. I guess I need to have control over something, and that's my control. Yeah. So, if anybody, other than my friend, my paranormal friend here is on board, say hello. I'd love to say hello back to you. And if anybody has anything that particularly they'd want to talk about, I'm probably going to babble anyways, because that's my nature. Actually, it's not my nature. I was actually non-verbal for the first 7 years of my life. I'm not used to getting a word in edgewise. I guess I'm surrounded by usually people who talk more than I do, and then I've got that added thing is people who are autistic sometimes take a little longer to figure things out. I find that by the time I've sort of figured out what's being said and ran it through my head, and then the opportunity to speak has passed. Yeah, so this is having an audience of 1 or 2 or 3. This is a whole new experience for me. Being in front of the camera. I've been filming since 1990. I got my first camera, but very rarely do you see me on the other side of the camera. So getting my confidence up, and then maybe one day I'll start doing 10 a.m. morning chats and gradually work myself into where there's more people that will stop, that would maybe be interested in stopping by. I mean, they probably know who is this colorful person laying in bed speaking at this early hour, or I guess mid-afternoon if you're in Europe. And if you're in Europe, And if you're in England or Wales, I heard there's some pretty bad storms coming in there. I was watching earlier, it was a 1979 production of Christmas at St. David's in Wales, and I was thinking, boy, they're sure feeling it like in the present date quite now. That's quite the storm that's been hitting there. In Pennsylvania, I heard the snow might start melting. We're going to have flooding now. This weather, I don't know if we'll be getting snow here. The one thing, about here on Vancouver Island and the Pacific Coast, in Canada is most of the snow ends up in the mountains. I can remember, rather than, it's a big deal when we get snow here because we don't have very long. We don't get it every year. We're more, we don't get a lot of it. I can remember the 2010 Olympics. They actually had to truck in snow for some of the events up in the mountain. That's crazy. That was a beautiful winter, though. I can remember. I took advantage of the Olympics as much as I could. I lived in Richmond, BC at the time, so that was one of the venues we had for the speed skating and for the entertainment. So I made sure I took advantage of whatever was free. I mean, it's going to happen anyways. So yeah, I took advantage of a few live shows. My friends Delhi to Dublin were in the torch ceremony. They were performing, so I went to see that. And also Rick Hansen. Now, Rick Hansen was he was in an accident when he was young, and so he was paralyzed in a wheelchair. Well, when I was living in Richmond, he was actually my neighbor. He lived maybe 3-4 houses down. And we used to joke that, hey, well, at least our kids got to grow up with a real life hero in their neighborhood. And he was great to the kids because he would do like a circuit in his wheelchair for exercise every day. And the kids would run beside him. And yeah, it was pretty exciting for them. Gave my youngest son a really nice poster and signed it, Never Give Up on Your Dreams. It was a frame. I've actually got his autobiography signed also from back in those days when books with pages were a thing. But yeah, that was nice. And how we got on the subject of Rick Hansen, I can't remember. Oh, my mind tends to wander. Lived in Richmond. Torchlight ceremony. Yeah, so I went downtown Vancouver and wandered around the crowds. I think I even got some YouTube video on my channel here from that. Just to experience it, how often are you going to experience the Olympics? Just like Expo 86 when it was in Vancouver. I went 86 times. I mean, 1986, people could have told me I was autistic for sure because I had to do it 86 times. But got a season's pass. The children were young, and we got to experience the world without even leaving the city. Yeah, so some good memories there. Okay, we're coming up. A pretty big anniversary for that. I'm sure there'll be lots on local television, local media. I don't even know what it's called anymore. And now on the very same grounds as Expo 86, we've got Taylor Swift Mania happening. The very last concert tonight. Yep. Many unusual place at Falls Creek. During Expo 86, there was a 4-hour play every night for about 2 weeks called a Falls Creek Symphony. And it was put together with local artists, dancers, singers, musicians, with Welfare State International from England. And, it basically told the history and the story of the place. And also the future, which was so prophetic because it was about this character Mirror Man and how what was going to happen was the capitalism was going to take over and it was going to turn into this huge mirror land type thing. And that's exactly what happened. If you look at Falls Creek post Expo 86, it's all millionaires, apartments, and glass and glam. That's very, very prophetic it was. A Falls Creek Symphony. And the funny thing is, we became quite friendly with Welfare State International, and they gave us a cassette tape of some of their music, which I came across the other day. I was sorting out my drawers, my dresser here, and I thought, I should mail it off to John Fox, who was the founder. I think he's passed away, but I know his children might appreciate it. I thought, geez, I'll just stick it in the mail and send it off to England. I think they're from the Lake District. I actually found them on the internet, so I could do that. But yeah, that was the highlight of Expo. That and the drum festival. Quite enjoyed the drum festival. It was like when you were walking through the grounds, it was almost like, there was by continent, the way that was set up, but you could hear the drums of the different cultures, from one end of the park to the other throughout the day. It was quite, it was quite lovely. Spent some time in I guess it was the German, beer garden. I'm not a drinker, but it's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun in there. A lot of people doing the chicken dance and just having a great old time. Yeah, that and just making sure that I saw every pavilion in the place. You went to Expo. Yeah. Expo was the thing that actually, I think that's the moment that changed Vancouver forever. I think people came to visit Expo and realized, wow, this is paradise here. Because there was no looking back after that. It just sort of propelled into the city of the future. But yeah, I guess we used to have quite a bit of fun. Like I say, what's going to happen if you got the opportunity, especially when you're younger and you can get around. I don't think I definitely couldn't get around like that now. My mother was actually older than I am now during that. She did pretty good, actually. I didn't realize how difficult it would have been for somebody once you start getting the arthritis and everything. Oh, yeah. I'm a real animal lover. The problem is I'm a very emotional animal lover. My attachment with animals, I don't know, there's something there. Like I say, I go to a dog show and I'm the person in the audience sitting with the tears streaming down my face just because it's so overwhelming. And then when I lived in Richmond, I lived across the street from Twin Oaks Equestrian Farm, and every August they had the jumping show, equestrian show. It's nice. It's nice to be able to go to a venue across the street. It's easy to be able to come home. But yeah, I was able a few years in a row to meet Eddie Mackin, who was one of the greatest jumpers of all time. And a couple of years we hung out, and He was a lot of fun. He was a good guy. And Ron Southern, who has spruce meadows in Alberta. Um, I was working for About.com, so I was covering the whole event there. And he actually invited me out to Calgary or to Alberta to cover. He's like, maybe I want you to come and be my guest and cover my event. Never did get out there though. I had animals, my own myself, and that wasn't very easy just to take off. But the horses, they just such beautiful, beautiful animals, and I just couldn't get over how majestic they were. Mind you, I'm sure these were $100,000 horses, but not all of them. I mean, some of the younger jumpers, I'm sure their ponies weren't worth that much. But yeah, I quite enjoyed that. I believe they quit over 10 years ago. It was actually before I even moved, and I moved over to the island 9 years ago. But yeah, I've always had a really deep relationship with animals. I think this is it's just difficult. It's difficult for me because I think I become more attached than I do to humans in a lot of ways. Or most humans, anyways. But yeah, the 4-H, I guess it does teach you a lot about the life cycle of things. I don't know if I could even handle that. The main reason I didn't become a veterinarian. I'd love to be a veterinarian or a zookeeper that only dealt with healthy animals and never had any problems at all. It's just too emotionally attached. Which is why I always have a dog. I don't think I can be without a dog. Oh, Alberta. Oh, it's beautiful near Banff. Oh, wild horses. Oh, yes. A good friend of mine. Actually, I met at Twin Oaks as a horse trainer. She's living up in Princeton now. And she was actually my dog trainer. Or I should say, she trained me. She didn't train the dog. She trained me. And yeah, I know she's since lost her horse Vicky, but I can see why she moved to. Well, it's not Banff, but it's in the mountains in British Columbia. We still have a lot of beautiful, so much beautiful territory to be protected here, I guess. Because they explored, but explored isn't always a good thing. We have deer all the time. Well, we have deer quite often. Like, probably if I looked at my front window right now, the chances of the deer there would be about 50-50. Still kind of scary, though. The antlers and all. Only thing we ever had, what did we get? When we lived in Richmond, the farm, we had tons of raccoons. Oh, what a pain they were. They would, when they were young, we had juniper bushes, and they would eat the berries, get intoxicated, climb the filbert nut tree, and throw the nuts in my bedroom window at 3 a.m. And you'd look out there, and they'd be rolling around like you're having a great old time. This is a big old joke on me, which it was. But I never got too close to them. It got to the point where you see, we would feed the barn cats. There's barn cats, and there's a woman, a friend of ours, Mary, who fed them, and she took them, got them shots and spayed and everything else needed to be done. But it got to the point where the raccoons discovered the cat feeding place. So now all of a sudden we're feeding the raccoons and we're feeding the cats. Ah, I'm telling you. We kept on. I was going to tell you Mary's story one day, Isla. It's a long one, though. I think I have a story online about her. She basically went to. She was Chinese, but she went to China. Oh my gosh, this is right when the Taliban were training. This is way, like the western, up to the mountains between, I guess, Pakistan and China, and saved a village of school children. It's quite a story, but it's a long one. It's one I have to prepare for, but I'd like to share with you because I think you'd understand. Our great Mary. Yeah, she was she would feed the stray cats. She was the feeder of all strays, let's put it that way. And the way that we found out about her mission in China was she left us a note asking us to feed her cats for 6 weeks because she was going off to do this grand old thing in the middle of the area that they're training the Taliban during right around 9/11 time, and that was quite something. But yeah, she did marvelous things. It's just one woman who can make a lot of change for a lot of people. Pender Harbor. You live in Pender Harbor on the Sunshine Coast of BC. It is beautiful there. I have a niece that lives over there. Well, in Seashells. Yeah, it is beautiful. The British Columbia coast is a gorgeous place. It is a gorgeous place. We've got orca whales, eagles, bears, cougars. I guess the Vancouver Island marmot too is still around. It really is almost like sort of. I know it's Alaska. I guess is the last frontier, but it is the gateway to the hinterland, the gateway to the last wilds of North America. Yeah. I spent a lot of my, I was born in Nanaimo, mind you. So the first few years of my life in Qualicum and Parksville until we moved to the mainland when I was 5 or 6, I guess. And, but I did spend a lot of my summers, or the month of August anyways, up in Campbell River, where my sister lived. And that's always a place I wanted to end up, Campbell River. I think maybe, you have all those, not only do I have those, you have those childhood memories, but also my siblings were also much older than me. She had a son 5 days older than me, and a son 2 years younger, and a daughter, I think, 4 years younger. So to me, it was kind of like having cousins or siblings just people my own age I could hang out with. But so I had a lot of good memories up there, growing up. And I thought with Campbell River, maybe it will be Campbell River. Who knows? I wouldn't mind moving up island. I think the further north, the better, as far as I'm concerned. The further I am away from the city, the happier I see my will be. Yes. But first, before I do anything, got to get to the point where I own a car again. Because transportation is pretty limited. I can take a bus all the way to Parksville if I want, a city bus, but that's about it. Maybe I could go further. Who knows? Oh, so your niece has a salon. Oh, I wonder if she knows my My niece. Ah, Molly's Reach, yeah, Beachcomber. I used to watch the Beachcombers too. My uncle was in one of the my uncle was in one of the episodes that he was a fisherman who accidentally. Oh, this makes me angry now though. So in the 80s, he accidentally had a orca caught in his net. So it was all about that. But the idea that I don't know if it really happened or it was just TV or what. But yeah, he got to be in the episode as a fisherman because he was a fisherman. But yeah, I used to watch it. I was living in Toronto at that time. So it was like, hey, I'm going to tell my friends this is what it's like where I'm from. Of course, in Toronto, when I was in, excuse me, Toronto in the late 70s and early 80s, Vancouver was like another world. To my friends out there. Um, yeah, I think once you put the mountains in between us and the rest of the Canada, we are like another world. Yeah, I wonder if that old episode, you never know, maybe that old episode, you never know, it could be online. My family actually are, my mother's side, the Swedish are fishermen up by Port McNeill. It's at Malcolm Island, which is how I got involved with the wild salmon movement. Saving the wild salmon. They started building the fish farms up there in the open waters, and finally, I think things are moving in the right direction for the wild salmon. We just gotta. I guess it all depends on who's in government, eh? Who's gonna, yeah, who's for big business and who's for saving the backbone of the of British Columbia, which is the salmon. No. I'm feeling a little bit more awake. Still a little bit headachy in that. Probably a good thing I don't have any, not very many days. I actually don't really have anything to do. I don't have any stories to promote. I don't have any stories. Well, there's always something to create, but I know that I'm not able to sit yet, so that's out of the question. Because I'm going to end up hurting myself if I try to lean on one elbow or something and get it done. I mean, I'm even worried about 7 games. This is why the 7 games of GeoGuessr, I think I am going to just do a no-move one, get them over quickly, and just go through the rest of my day. I've been paying attention yesterday when I was playing GeoGuessr, and I don't think I cursed that much. It seems to be the one time I'm gonna, so that's why I'm hesitant of live streaming. I'm live streaming myself. I have to pay attention. I have to pay attention to my language. We'll see. Or making up other words. So yeah, it will be just, I guess, just 80s. The 80s in holiday television for the rest of the day for me. Maybe I'll have a little bit of nap so I can tune into the very last Swiftie tour tonight online. Still don't know how that guy gets away with live streaming every single concert. I guess it must be because it's not saved. I don't know. I don't know. Here I'm worried about a jingle from a commercial getting picked up. And my computer over here has decided to go to sleep. That's what I get for ignoring it, I guess. Yeah, so no plans today. I guess I could plan out my week, which plan out my week, which I'm sure I've already done. Mm-hmm. Ah. Oh, I'll try to check you out if I'm awake. I go to sleep so early. But yeah, I was thinking about Christmas. Maybe doing a live stream. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be the same as any other day here, really. Um, yeah, I'm not in a position for there to be any presents or any Christmas meal or anything like that. When I went to get my flu shot, the woman said, the nurse said to me, "Oh, so you're getting ready for Christmas?" I'm like, "Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been able to afford Christmas since 2018." Come on, man. I'm trying to dig myself out of the debt, you know, it caused by between COVID and cancer and all that stuff. And it's just like, oh, well, can't somebody do something for me? Well, no. I'll just enjoy my nostalgic television. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are not going to be having presents or meals or any of that stuff. And people shouldn't be shocked, I guess. I mean, I'm definitely not going to put myself in more debt for Christmas. That's not going to happen. I mean, not that I can afford it, but at this moment, I put up a GoFundMe up to sort of help with the debt and that, and I've gotten $50 in donations. Thank you very much. Three of them, of course, three of the donations are from one person who I really, really appreciated, and I've let her know that. But it's just tough times for everybody. It's just not a. I guess we got to look at other ways, eh? There's other ways of celebrating the holidays. I don't know. It's just the commercialization. I'm telling you, I sure wish Prime Minister Trudeau he just had more value on the seniors. Because that was a slap in the face. I'm telling you, they don't deserve it, but we don't go out to work. We didn't put in a lifetime of graft for you. But yeah, the seniors could have really used that. But yeah, so anybody comes across this blog and happens to have an elder person in their family, make sure you wish them a Merry Christmas this year, because a lot of them are going to be very, very lonely. I know. That was one of the reasons I thought of doing a live on Christmas, is because they're going to be lonely people, but I don't really have enough people coming to my live as it is. I mean, you're gonna have a friend. You're gonna have a friend with you. Well, no, you're not gonna be lonely. Um, um, I have my husband and my dog. I won't be lonely. Yeah, veterans, especially veterans. What a slap in the face, eh? I guess he's looking where the future votes are, right? Those votes, they're going to be around in another 40 years. Are we going to be here? Yeah, I don't know why. Why is it, why the elders are the ones that get left behind and forgotten about? I never realized until I got to be this age it sucks. You've got pain pretty well all the time of some sort from something. Sometimes multiple sources. They gotta watch every single cent, because things are like thousands of times more expensive. And that's the truth. Thousands of times more expensive than when your elders were elders. It's just so hard to do anything. It really does. It's very, very challenging getting old. And it just seems all of a sudden you're there. You put in your years, you build a family, you build your career, you build your home, and then somebody gets ill or somebody gets cancer and takes everything you have. Just to beat that, it's a the greatest success to beat cancer or a disease or illness that's threatening your life. That's a major thing, but it shouldn't leave you without having to spend years to build up that hope and pay off that debt. They're saying that this healthcare company where the fellow was basically assassinated last week has broken a lot of lives, has gotten rich. I mean, the latest news is, I suppose this is true, is in the backpack they found from the assassin, they found monopoly money. Well, it makes sense. Everything is a message to these people. When you got a monopoly, getting rich off of the death and the illness and the loss of others is, geez, well, maybe the message isn't getting through. Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome. If you can't read this, replay has Isla, V Team Paranormal, saying that we were watching the old cartoons last night, and the two child spirits who live with her were lighting up her paranormal devices during the cartoons, especially during the funny parts. And that's fun. That's why I like to. That's the way that I've experienced any spirits. Is the fun and the playfulness. Aw. Like I don't understand totally how I have to, and anybody else who may watch this, you want to learn more about what Isla does in Victoria as a medium, to visit her channel V Paranormal. I've learned, there was, I don't know a whole lot, but I did learn a lot. I did watch I think it was the Allison House, where she did a meeting with the spirit there, and this me not knowing very much about it just opens a lot of. I want to know how does this work. I want to know how does that work, and I do go back on my experiences because I have experienced. I know, what I have felt, what I've experienced is real. But yeah, that's interesting. That's another thing of the past. I wonder if they were from a time before we had that type of technology, or maybe from the early 30s or something. If it's the same cartoon I'm thinking about, I was thinking, what's it good? One of the toys Santa comes and all the toys are playing, and that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your Isla's most recent video for her friends at Carol's house. Let's see if I can learn more from there. Yeah, we had quite a playful spirit in the farmhouse I used to live in. It was the wife of the original man, the man that originally built the house, and I think she really enjoyed having a large and loud family in the house, because apparently the house had sat quite empty for years, as it has since way more than 9 years. But there's still activity on the farm, I guess. I figure as long as she's protecting that house from developers, that's what she wants. Well, yeah, I have to dig out my, everything that I don't have to use right now is in my front little closet. I guess it should be a coat closet. It's larger than that, though. Somewhere in there is my video editing. I want to get back into editing some of my home videos and that. I see all this vintage stuff. I have a lot of vintage stuff. I just don't know how they get around. I don't want to get any copyright strikes against me, even though I would like to share it. I like to share some stuff. Well, my coffee's cold and done. My neck is really sore. So I think I'm going to end this session this morning. Watch myself some 1980s video and maybe have a little nap and get those games. Well, I do my weekly stats too. Website's growing. Let's see how many countries have we had so far this month, which is 1 week. Let me check that first. We've got 50 countries. So I'm glad I reached out to 50 countries. And if anybody needs to know about anything, you go to gocybernaut.com. And if there's something there that doesn't cover what you want to learn about, come by chat and bring it up. Maybe I'll cover it if I can. Yeah, you have a super day too. Hello to your friend, and I hope you have another successful day. If she's, I can't remember if she's again. Is she at the pier today or not? But if she is, another successful day, and have a nice morning. Thanks, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. If I don't show up sometime, I just want to say it's only because the pain is just a little bit too much that day. But I try to at least get up and have a coffee. Okay, well, good luck to her and blessings to you both. It's going to be a beautiful day, and you enjoy it. And it's always great chatting with you again.